Hi, Zizaran here with a post-show for the iolite Gauntlet, and I am joined here today by the Ventrua. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. I was a bit sad after my rip, but it is what it is. Gauntlet was really fun this time. I felt like the meta was really good because there was at least 3 or 4 builds that could have won. And I still think Glad SSD isn't the best build. I saw a lot of people call me out on that. I just think it wasn't even Glad SSD who won the Gauntlet, it was just Steel winning the Gauntlet.
True, true. Also, I'm going to see if I can turn you up a little bit here, if that works. Stupid PC. Right, try talking?
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, oops. Is that better, chat? We good? Okay, awesome, good. Yeah, no, I agree. I also had said, I fully said I didn't think Spectral Shield Raven could finish the Gauntlet. I didn't think he was going to be able to do Uber in Zeri.
I mean,
Um,
that's what most people thought. Even Darky thought so, so he didn't rush the bosses, but then the whole Soul Taker strat started, and Steel just went in and killed everything.
yeah, I mean, even Steel didn't think, like, when I asked Steel, he was like, yeah, I don't think he can do Uber in Zeri. But he did. He owned. It was insane.
Yeah, it was.
What do you think was like the main contributor to this being like such a late gauntlet that it took all the way till day 8 for anyone to kill the bosses as opposed to the normal like 4 or 5?
I mean, obviously there were a lot of nerfs. That's the one thing, and the other thing is, I mean, Exile and Darky died, right? Like, if Exile and Darky don't die, they are able to probably clear it on like day 5, day 6, maybe. But if they die, like, rerolling takes way longer now than it took before to regear everything, and just farming gear takes longer because you need more gear on the current characters.
Yeah, no, for sure. How do you feel what was there any like big surprises to you this gauntlet? Like how do you feel about Act 1 with all the gauntlet mods?
It wasn't that bad, honestly. I mean, as long as you abuse the steel skill, I don't remember whether it's splitting steel or shattering, whichever one, then it's like fine, I guess. If your class doesn't have that, then it becomes a lot harder.
Hmm.
I don't know. My problem with like gauntlet leveling is mostly if you don't know what you are doing, you are very likely to die in Act 4, and if you die in Act 4, you probably won't reroll.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you ended up winning second Ranger, rank 2, which I think you win around $500. Still needs to be like fully set in stone, but around there. So congratulations. What were some things in the gauntlet that went right or went wrong for you?
I think I geared very well. What went wrong? On day 1, I died to bucket loss, which is unfortunate, but it happens.
So in
And
the future, you
then,
should consider not disconnecting.
true, true. And then on day 3 or 4, I turn off my stream and I'm like, yo, stream. Tomorrow, we are either going red maps or I'm gonna be in Twilight Strand because I just wanted to farm a little bit off stream, right?
Yeah.
And I did Katarina at like 4 a.m. in the morning, like tier 8 Katarina. And I just ate like 3 skeletons and died to them.
Oof.
Which was a little unfortunate, but I came back, managed to get my try on the bosses and whatnot. My dad was a little like I mean it was a misplay, right? But there's a lot going on in Form. And dying to like one of the hardest bosses doesn't feel that bad. So I felt okay about the way I played.
Yeah, and the Formed is a new addition in this gauntlet. Do you think it was a good addition? Did you like it?
Wasn't it there last time too?
Nope.
Or
I'm pretty sure this is the first time we have Formed.
I'm pretty sure we had them before, but like I think it should be there. Like it adds a lot to the game.
Did we have Formed last
Uh,
time?
I I even think hidden should be there. Just even if no one clears it, I still think it should be there because you can force farm it. Like obtaining the hidden
Mhm.
is not difficult, so I don't see why it wouldn't be part
So
of the gauntlet.
the reason we didn't do the hidden was because that there was no breach on the map device. So we were a little bit worried about putting too much RNG on it because that's the reason we don't have Feared on there too because of Cortex.
I don't think it would be a problem even without blight on map device. It doesn't take as long to farm, but I understand why you guys didn't put it on then.
Yeah. Same with like I feel like the Twisted ended up being too much RNG as well. We really do want something like TGD being able to let us, maybe just for the Gauntlet, but being able to Horizon the Twisted would make it a lot
Yeah.
less RNG, and being able to harvest swap Uber Elder Fragments just for the
There just needs to be
Gauntlet.
some like Horizon recipe for Twisted to change the Guardian. I don't know why it's not the case. It would be so much easier. Like it would be good even for normal game. I don't know why it's not there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was very, very interesting to see people go up against it with all the nerfs and stuff. It's just an insane fight. Is there any things that you would like want to see very different in the Gauntlet? Some things you wish were there or wish wasn't there?
Okay, I wish, and I don't know. Like I know you don't have the possibility to do it right now, but what I wish is leveling and mapping was a bit easier, but bosses were like way harder. I think that would make for a like way better spectator event, because like no one enjoys dying in maps, but everyone loves to watch like boss rips, right? And I don't know about LMP or AOE. Like personally, I wouldn't even mind like simple like 60% boss damage, 200% boss life or something like that. Just like bosses being actually really difficult while mapping not being like too tedious.
So
Because like LMP like abstracts your mapping so much that you can't even play some builds while mapping really. Like how do you play Templar with LMP on? You almost can't. Like there are
true.
some Templars that actually killed some bosses, which I don't know how, but like, it's so much more difficult than playing, let's say, Glad or Raider, right?
I think the hardest part of Templar, I feel like once you get to bosses, you're pretty okay. I just think mapping is just like an insane struggle. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
it's crazy.
And that's the case for a lot of classes. It's not just Templar, right? Like
Yeah.
I guess Witch Necro is pretty okay, but if you are playing Witch that's not a Necro, it's like impossible.
Yeah.
If you are playing Marauder, almost impossible. Like there are like 3 classes that could map safely.
Yeah. So we are actually going to be reaching out to GDD and asking for if we can either have like, I mean, it would probably be pretty doable to get things like unique bosses stats. The problem with that, like, I think Darky was the one who pointed it out. Like, say we get unique bosses have 300 or 400% monster life, right? That's still going to put like things like the normal mup bosses just as insane sponges. So maybe they can do something where it's only the actual bosses that are affected by the stats. But it would be really cool to, yeah, like you said, make it slightly easier for mapping. The only downside of that is then we might have people waiting literally until day 7, 8, 9 until they actually start doing bosses.
I mean, that was almost the case this time as well, right? For most people.
I mean, we do see a lot of people dying to bosses earlier though on as early as day 5. So people are trying it earlier now.
I guess it's true.
So, but that's the thing about the Gauntlet, right? It doesn't have to be perfect each time. And yeah, we wanna learn from it. And yeah, how do you feel about Delve being included with the 300-point cap?
I personally don't like Delving, but I like it being included because you get the access to the 6-ink recipe. Like,
True.
I don't know anything about Delving. I just went down, got to 300. It wasn't really fun, but I like the addition of it. Like getting access to resonators, fossils, and the 6-ink recipe is good.
Right. That makes sense. And do you feel like the 300 cap was good, or do you wanted like further Delve?
I think you could just again. There's the same problem as with we talked about with mapping, right? Like some classes just cannot possibly go past the 300, really.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, but maybe that's fine. I mean, if it's a class gauntlet, it doesn't matter as much.
True.
But if you wanted to win, you would have to play a class that can delve deeper than that.
Yeah. No, that's
like
I would like
Ice
to
Gauntlet,
do
you did
some...
500, right?
Yes.
I think.
I think so.
And
I
there it
have
was
no
literally
memory
2
apparently,
classes.
so I'm the wrong person to ask. I like still can't remember Hidden from last Gauntlet, so my memory is apparently non-existent. But we did have, I think we did, was it uncapped or 500? But okay, yeah, it was 500. People are saying. Oh yeah, form not hidden. No memory at all. But yeah, that is basically just like you said. There's some classes that just can't do it. But yeah.
Yeah, overall, I think it was good. Like the format was good. I think Delph, I think it added a bunch. Even if it doesn't add like necessarily too much difficulty, it just adds a lot of like, it eliminates a lot of RNG by giving people access to 6-ink recipe, which I think is good.
True.
And generally, like, I know no one actually did an owl, but like if more people survive, we would have seen some owls, which is always good content, right? Like that boss is like actually so well designed that just having Dell just for that would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish there was like, I don't know, I wish it was more reliable to find out to include it and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like maybe the first one was guaranteed at like 300 or something no matter what. Would be really cool.
Yeah, the Dell boss RNG just sucks.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us here for an interview. Thanks so much for participating in the Gauntlet. It's always impressive to watch you play. Chat, can we get a big clap for the Ventura? And
Thank you for
yeah,
having me, and thanks for hosting the Gauntlet. It's always fun.
thank you.
And goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks so much. All right. Ah, there. And then we're going to switch. We have Son of Seven coming up next. What's wrong with my RNG today? All right, let's try this. RNG memory. Jesus Christ. I'm just losing the ability to function as a human. Hello.
Hello there.
How
We
are
are-
you doing?
I mean, I'm pretty happy right now. It's
Yeah.
the first time I place in an official event.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Rank 1 Scion. Winning approximately $1,000.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That means no pasta for a long time.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. And yeah, tell us a little bit about everything. Tell us a little bit about your character, things that went well, things that went wrong.
Well, so I wanted to play Glad because I have a goal in PoE. It's basically my on-game goal. The reason why I play PoE is to be the best Glad in the world. And so obviously I went with Glad, and turned out I got clapped by T14 Glacier Ball, the big goat first slam. So it was really, really sad, I guess. But then I had all the good gear to reroll Scion, and I was like, maybe I can pull it off. So I went Scion. I had a lot of dodge, having like 70% spell dodge on Cyrus was very good. So yeah, I mean, I was really happy with the build. It was SST. I was basically playing Glad, but as Scion.
So you couldn't beat Steel Mage on Gladiator, and you ended
I
up.
mean, he's just too good, dude.
He is.
He's just too good. I have a story about Steel Glad. The reason I start racing is I start racing in Mayhem Heist.
Mhm.
And the reason for that is I was in Steel's chat and we were reading the mods. And I said, there is no way you can clear a map in Mayhem in less than 3 minutes. And Steel said, oh, you can if you're not shit. And I was like, what? You call me shit? You call me shit? Ah, I'm going to show you if I'm shit. I'm going to beat you at your own game. So I went Glad. That's when I start playing Glad, basically. And now I just want to beat his ass.
That's a good goal. Honestly, like, Steel is known for being very toxic, so I'm not surprised. But honestly, you did really well on Scion. And yeah, huge congratulations. Was there anything that you like really liked about this Gauntlet compared to previous ones, or didn't like?
Dev was I love that Dev was in it because I kind of felt bad when I delve when it's not part of the point, but just having access to a bit of currency, fossil for crafting, and XP, it's just way better. I was really mad at Twisted because on the last day I found maybe 13 hours in a row to get Twisted and I could never drop it. I was super tilted about that. So I think Twisted, it shouldn't be in there if
you can't rise
if
it.
there is no change.
Yeah, no, I always hated that you can't horizon elder maps. I really I wish they would change that, even if it's just for the Gauntlet. It would be really nice. But again, huge congratulations, dude, and an insane performance. Thanks so much for joining us here for the interviews, and thanks so much for participating and kicking ass in the Gauntlet.
Thank you, and thank you, you and Viro for making the Gauntlet. That's why I play PoE. That's beautiful.
That's badass.
Thank you all.
Dude. That's glad to hear. Let's get a big clap for Son of Seven. Insane performance. And thank you again, dude. Next up, we have DS Lily. Thanks so much, dude. All right. DS Lily, don't sleep. She doesn't sleep. Right. Let's see. It's so cool. We have so many like new winners and like just people like kicking ass in the gauntlet. Hello?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Can we see a camera? Pause?
Yep.
There we go. Don't sleep, Lily. How much did you end up sleeping?
I had like 143 hours played, so about 100 hours.
That's a decent amount of sleep in 10 days.
Actually, it's probably a bit less because my strat now is when I wake up, I do something else for like 2 hours because every death I've ever had has been within 2 hours of waking up.
I started doing the same thing. I felt like I never die at the end of my stream. I always die when I like start and then do something too rippy.
Yeah, that's why I always get annoyed when people tell me to go to sleep because I don't die when I'm up for 30 hours. I die when I'm up for less than 2.
Yep, I feel that. I feel that a lot. You got rank 1 witch, $1,000 approximately. Huge congratulations. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your build and a little bit about things that went right or wrong during this gauntlet?
Yeah, I was a Necro DD. So I had pretty rough RNG throughout the whole thing. On day 1, I couldn't get Vol DD until I was like 4 hours into maps. And I was running Vol zones too. And it just wasn't happening. Vol orbs weren't dropping.
Wow.
And then early mapping went pretty smooth. I didn't really have issues with map drops or anything. And then I had to start farming Glorious Vanity before I wanted to push before I pushed into 4 Stone Conquerors. I did all the 3 stones. And then I started farming for Glorious Vanity. And it took me 9 sets of Legion jewels to get it. I dropped no jewels for 9, like not even the other 2 that were in the runs.
Wow.
And then finally I like just full respect for full damage and I did a 4-way and then I got it and like
That's
almost died.
painful. But holy shit.
Yeah, it was bad.
9. Wow. That's
Then
insane.
after that I couldn't 6-link my hunter chest, which in hindsight I don't think I needed to do. I think the build's a lot stronger than I thought it was and a lot tankier. So
yeah, no, it looked insanely like you've played this build. Do you have 2 or 3 level 100s on this build?
I'm not sure. I've played it like to almost 100 a few times. Like I've hit it 99 like 0.5 a few times, and luckily I think it's a really fun build, so I can keep doing it. I could do it again. So hopefully it's not nerfed.
How do you feel about the nerfs? Because obviously we had a big Spectre nerf with the Crush Claws and things like that, which was a pretty big effect. Or how much did that affect your push?
Be honest, I mean, I didn't think damage wasn't an issue except for Shaper. My damage was pretty good on everything else.
Yeah.
I don't know how it'd be on Uber Elder because I haven't done it. I didn't realize it was going to be so bad on Shaper either because I didn't practice for any bosses.
Imagine if it was Witness Shaper and it got healing.
Like, yeah, when I was watching the rank 2 witch Sen, he accidentally, well, first he put it in his first Shaper set. He went to Delve to go get his specters. He came back, his portals were gone.
Oh no.
Then he puts in his second set and he accidentally Maven influenced it.
Oh.
But he got lucky. He just got the one that gives him damage reduction for a few seconds. So he was able to do it even though it took him like forever.
Damn. How long did your Shaper kill end up being?
It was 22 minutes.
Wow. That is
yeah, it
long.
was.
That is long. Oh wow. That's insane. How did you feel about the new Act 1 and stuff like that?
I felt like once you got past mudflats, you're pretty fine.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't a huge fan of getting stuck in submerged to like level whatever 12 though. I mean, I guess you could try and push past it, but I usually just try not to die because when I go on tilt, so I just go really slow.
Yeah. It's a good strategy. Very, very good strategy. It's gonna be interesting because they're buffing Act 2 for the next gauntlet, so yeah. Just imagine if they
Yeah.
buff Weaver. I just won't get past it. It's gonna be interesting. How did you feel about the inclusion of Delve?
I like when Delve is in it. I think it's a lot of fun, especially like when you're about to hit 300, like 280 to 300. It's kind of monkasteer. I mean, I guess you could take a while and like just go through no mod zones and go sideways a lot, but at the end I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna hit it. So I had to go through like sweltering burrows with like Ellie Pen, and in hindsight I should have done it, but I lived.
Wow. That's really good. It's been an insane performance, and rank 1, which again, huge congratulations. Thanks so much for participating in the gauntlet, and thanks so much for joining us here for an interview. Can we get a big clap for Lily in chat? Thank you so much. And yeah, insane performance as always.
Yep, thanks for hosting these and keeping the racing community alive and having me here on the interview.
Thank you, thank you. We'll keep doing our best, and hopefully we'll see you in the next gauntlet as well.
Yep,
I'll see you later.
see ya.
All right, next up we have business. Let's see. Wait, do I have business on Discord? Test. Pog, I do. I've actually talked to him. Excellent, excellent. Good shit. All right. There's no camera on this one. Hello, business.
Hello. How's it going?
Wow, that's a great voice. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. It was another very fun event.
Yeah, thank you again for joining. And this is the second gauntlet you do really well in, and in this you got rank 2 overall, rank 1 shadow.
Yeah, I was really surprised. So I was rooting for Fino, who was the former rank 1 shadow, who ended up rank 2 shadow, because he was just blasting. He had a real shot at taking first overall. I was excited for him, but it just didn't happen. He died on Maven somehow.
Yeah, it was I think he said, I can't remember. I know he did say why, but I don't think he had footage because he like closed down the game. I think he was using shadow play. Oh, it was Cascade that killed him. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does a ton of damage to saboteurs.
So you were the second only person to kill every single boss in the gauntlet. The only thing you weren't able to complete was the Delve 300. Did you run out of time for Delve 300, or did you just not care?
No. So this is going to be awkward after hearing the responses of the previous guests to Delve. I hate Delve. Okay, I don't hate Delve. Delve is fine. I hate Sulfite. I cannot stand leaving the Delve, going in the Delve, leaving the Delve. I can't do it. Like, so there was no need for me to go from 200 to 300, so I just didn't. I just did not bother.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's not for everybody.
As a note, though, I don't know if I would have been able to. It's actually very hard on Cebu.
Yeah.
Because your clear, like, Exsanguinate clears just enough damage for what it's doing. So I think if you get to, like, 250 to 300, you might just die.
So tell us a little bit about your build and a couple of things that went well or didn't go well for you in the gauntlet.
Yeah, sure. That sounds great. As is tradition, I took the build completely from someone else. In this case, it was ITV. Thank you very much. I watched a bunch of people playing the build, theorizing the build between the crit version, the poison version. I watched a bunch of Exiles practice. I did a little practice myself. I got to like maps. It was fun. It's just like a very good generic build. So one of the things that people were discussing that I found very appealing about the build is that the tree's very, like, it's just a couple trap nodes and then life. So you can kind of just adjust on the fly based on what you find on what to do.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. It worked out really well for you.
You're super fragile early on, though. Or at least it felt like that to me. Like, people were discussing this, I think, in Steele's chat not too long ago. Before you get your endurance charges or some fizz taken as elemental, everything just puts you to 20%. Like, every single map, you go to 20%. It's very, very frustrating to play.
Wow. And so I'm guessing you had a lot of close calls then.
Okay, so in the last Gauntlet, I went from Beach to Maven or whatever, didn't die a single time. This Gauntlet, I went from Beach to Mudflats and died to the first Roa. That was great. The next character made it all the way to maps. I was going well. I made the conscious decision not to do Legions, because I remember Dan, Dirty Dan, right? Played to the Cultist. I remember watching him die to a Spear Chucker.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's got to be terrifying at LMP. I'm just never going to click a Legion. I then do a logbook, which happens to have Legion mobs, and I get off-screened by a sub-fizz Legion Spear Chucker. And I was like, oh, okay, this is great. So that character went out. I will go on to my next character, and I was like, okay, look, I'm done with Shadow. I don't want to race anymore. I want to play Witch. I want to play a Cultist Reaper. So I'm leveling a Witch. I get it to maps. I have great gear. I equip all the gear. I get in my first map, and I DC and die to packet loss. I was like, okay, I hate hardcore. I'm never playing this game again. I come back the next day, obviously log in, play the game again.
Of course.
And we play a Shadow, and we just take it very slow. We try to do what we did in the first Gauntlet, and it goes well. Like, I'm very squishy. My first real boss encounter, if you will, was my Mastermind. And you can see in that fight, all of the archers put me to like 10% health, just constantly.
Wow.
And it's just... You can see the progression throughout the boss fights of how squishy Saboteur becomes to how you're still very squishy, but at least you can pretend you can react with health pots. And I don't know. It was very stressful playing Saboteur, especially if you compare it to something like an agnostic character from last league.
Yeah.
But the damage is there. That's why you play it, right? Like, I think Uber at Zero was the third boss I did or something, because Saboteur.
Yeah. It's a very big difference between builds there, like who can do Uber Zero and who like will struggle on it. No, that's awesome though. Like and your gear, everything, like very well done. And insane congratulations on being able to kill like all the bosses. Like that's especially this Gauntlet, a very big achievement, one of 2 people to do it.
Yeah, I was very surprised. If you ignore my Uber Elder kill, I feel like I played all of the fights very well. If you include the Uber Elder kill, I might not have played all the fights very well.
So, tell us
and
a
I would
little bit
recommend
about
people
what
watch.
happened on the Uber Elder kill.
Okay, so I'm sure all of you are familiar with Darky's tragic death in the Uber Elder, where he rolled a d20 and lost and got hit by a slam.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say I rolled like, I don't know, 10 d20s and crit every single time. I ate, I don't know, 10 Shaper Balls, 3 slams. I'm pretty sure I ate an Elder Slam halfway through this, and just none of them hit me. I should have been dead like 10 times over. It was crazy.
Wow.
But after that, we managed to focus, and all the rest of the fights are good. I promise.
Wow, that is insane. Though, insane, dude. Absolutely insane. And hopefully we get to see yet another insane performance next Gauntlet. So
Yeah, I really appreciate everything you and your team do for this event and for the community. It's been a pleasure and a blast, and I'll for sure be back next time.
thank you so much, dude. Guys, everybody, let's get a big clap for Business Simply Amusing. Maybe next Gauntlet you'll start streaming. Like, I know a lot of people want to hear more of that voice.
Yeah, I mean, like I said last time, I'll look into it. I probably won't, but I'll try. I do want to give out a shout out again to ZyTV, that if y'all were interested in the build, I would definitely go to him.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Bye. All right, next up we have Karn. Awesome. Yeah, I see it's Scrya. Let me just download that real quick. Scrya made a little thing for people without cameras on the fly. It's beautiful. All right, let's see. Where's Karn? He's got a great voice. All right, let's see.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, dude?
I am good. Wait, did I not get a Karn overlay? Skria! Damn it!
Copium.
Okay, there's no Karn overlay. Okay, you're gonna be some nerd. Sorry. All right. This is Karn. Karn, tell us a little bit about how your gauntlet went.
One way to describe it would be paint champ.
Should I
And,
show your death maybe?
If you want. I'm good now. I
All
think.
right. All right, let's show and then you can explain what happened here.
Yeah.
Very interesting death.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So good.
Yeah, it's not good, dude. It doesn't feel good. The thing is, you have no idea. I've played this build like on three different characters. I played it, the very first one I rolled. Then I played one in BPL, and I played one in my Gauntlet practice.
Yeah.
I've probably killed like 40 Mavens on this build. This never happened to me.
Is
And
very
the thing
insane.
is, yeah, and the thing like when I tested in my hideout afterwards, and the thing that happens is that if there is any enemy behind the hydrosphere, it gets ignored completely, and it just goes to the enemy and hooks you there. So it's like, I popped my worms because I don't think the balls were exploding, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna take damage. But I didn't take damage for some reason, so I just popped my worms for no reason.
Yeah.
I didn't attack them because I was still leeching, and I was like, yeah, I just want to get out ASAP. And yeah, and like that has never happened to me.
To be fair,
before.
it's a very memorable death. This is like top 10 or probably rank 1 ever gauntlet death. Like no one's ever gonna forget this. Like just
Yeah.
it looks insane. Insane.
I know. I
timing.
just know it looks funny on the outside. It just looks clowny, but it's
Yeah.
such a horrible death. Like I was, that's not the way you want to go.
No,
That's not
for
the-
sure.
I would have liked to die. Like I know I had one close call in that fight where I popped the balls. You know what she calls mine.
Yeah.
She says mine. All the balls come, and I think they caught up to me as I was running. And when I backtracked to flame dash through them, they exploded at the same moment and almost died. Like if I died there, I would be fine with this. Like okay, I didn't. You know, that happens.
Yeah,
Like dying like this, they're dying like this, especially in a fight that I had. Like I know Maven is not an easy fight for Slayer. Like I've never had any issues with this fight at all, unless you get crazy bosses like curses. What is called the yellow tier 4 beast, tier 4 harvest beast, for example. This one is really bad. This type of stuff. Like if you don't get that, it's like an easy fight for Slayer.
Yeah.
So like I was very confident. I did it before the twisted and the form. Like that's how confident I was in Maven. Like
Oh, wow.
I didn't have them, right? Like that's one of the things that happened to me this race. I got lucky in my gear because I found the tech that for anyone out there. If you want to make gear, you need to make sure Steel Mage is offline. Once it's offline, you can roll your gear. I've made my gear is 100% crafted with Steel Mage offline. Use that trick.
That makes
tip,
sense.
sorry.
That makes a lot of sense. And for those who
And my gear was insane. My gear is actually insane. Like I think this is the most gear character I've had. Like even like well, okay, outside of Ritual Harvest, let's say. It was insane. Like I had like near perfect amulet.
yeah,
Perfect
tell us a little bit about your build because it was a very unique build. Probably the only person in the entire gauntlet playing this.
Yeah. It all started when Quinn decided to farm Onigoroshi, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna farm it too. I'm gonna race into it. And then I got one, and I was like, all right, I gotta make a build with it now. And I've played Onigoroshi builds like many times in the past. Like I love that weapon. I think it's one of the coolest uniques in the game. So I made like a bunch of builds with this item. And I was just thinking like, okay, I just looked at what I can do. Unfortunately, Melee sucks right now, and nothing is playable. I wanted to play Reeve, but Reeve is completely unplayable. So I just ended up going to Blaze Storm, which is, in my opinion, right now the best melee skill by a decent margin. And yeah, and the idea was basically, at first it was only Blade Storm, and
Yeah.
I ended up with totems, to add some more damage, because you have 2 6-link, so you can have 6-link Blade Storms, two 6-link skills to do that, to do damage, and then moving to Rage Vortex, which is actually insanely good. Like at first I was getting it for utility only, like getting Fortify
Yeah.
from range. Onslaught, I was thinking about doing Power Charge on Crit 2 and stuff like this. And turned out it just does a lot of damage, so I was using it as an extra damage link and on top of the utility.
I mean,
And,
it was so cool seeing you take on Orochi that far, because like I shit
I
on that
think this-
sword all the time. Like I hate it. I'm like, imagine farming 8 to 12 hours for a sword.
But the thing is, like, okay, the way I look at it, it's like in my practice, like in my experience, it took in all my practice, like the 3 times I farmed it, 2 times I farmed this league, it took me like 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
All included. So like if I had it in 8 hours, for example, instead of 13, 13 is like really unlucky. That's like the worst case scenario, you get it in 13 hours. If I got it in 8, like I think I had a pretty good shot at winning, because then I would have had like, what, 5 more hours. Like Steel Mage finished the Gauntlet, I was only missing my Eradicator map. And maybe in these 4 or 5 hours I get it twisted and I can have a chance of a shot at winning. But like in this case, because of how the twisted works, sometimes you just can't do anything.
Yeah.
You just don't have to, you just can't win.
It was still
But,
very impressive. Like I was
yeah.
blown away. I would have never believed
I
you.
think the build is underrated. I think it's a really good build.
Yeah, I mean,
as far as
I
melee
was
goes-
watching you play, and it was strong, very impressive.
Yeah. The only problem is like you're melee, and melee kind of sucks. So
Yeah,
it has its problem.
for sure. It's nice to be able to be far away and safer. How do you feel
Yeah.
about this gauntlet compared to the last one?
I went into this one just the first thing I was thinking about is I don't want to die. I don't want to go through Axe again, especially after my first living through Axe the first time. I was like, yeah, I don't want to die. Like, no, I'm not going through Axe again. Like Axe are so painful on melee right now.
Yeah.
It's really bad. So yeah, like I feel like I took it like very slow this time because I was like, yeah, if I die, I know I'm not going again. Not because I'm farming Onigoroshi. I feel like farming Onigoroshi is actually worth it. Like it's actually really good for this type of events that are gonna last like 8 to 10 days, where everything is nerfed. We're way weaker. The LMP is back, so I was expecting the gauntlet to take a lot longer, which made it much more worth it to actually farm it. Because if you look at it, you farm 8 hours. That's what you expected, and you get your 6-link, your endgame weapons. Stun immunity is fixed. Element immunity is fixed. You have so many things fixed within for 8 hours of farming, and
True.
you get just not once. You get another one. You just farm another 1 hour, and you have a second one. even
How
if you die.
early did you end up using your Onigoroshi?
After my Merc Lab, after Village, basically.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Because that's why it was painful to level, because I had to stick with steel skills until Merc Lab, and it was a pain.
Right.
But after that, yeah, it was just basically standard LMP Slayer and Gauntlet. It's kind of rough, but you just have to be careful and play well.
Was there any boss that you were like really worried about doing on your build if you hadn't died to Maven?
Formed by far. I was not worried about anything but the Formed. I think I was extremely confident against everything but the Formed.
Right.
I think because the Formed, like if I would rather do the Feared than the Formed, to be honest.
Yeah, you're still the only person who's ever done the feared in a gauntlet. So
Yeah. I wanted to do it actually. If I survived, I was gonna try to go for it because I think my current build can do it.
yeah.
The build I played, I think it's a really good bossing build. But yeah, the problem is, you know what happened, and
Yeah.
the form would have been a big issue because the form, it's the same thing as the hidden. I don't like these invitations because you're on a timer and then you fight all 4 and chances you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Just something's gonna happen.
very hard
Something's gonna
fight.
go. Yeah.
But again, dude, insane performance as we've come to expect from you. And let's get a big clap for Karn in chat. Thanks so much for joining us here for the interview, and thank you for putting on an insane performance
Yeah.
in the gauntlet as always.
Yeah, thank you for hosting these events as always. Carrying the game.
Thank you,
Thank you,
dude.
dude.
I will
Yes,
see you later. Thanks so much, Karn.
Yes, you do.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Insane performance. Next up, we have Foror, who is 3rd overall. I think. Let's see. What's his character name? Karn's character was called Karn Melee Pain Champ. Right, let's see. Let's see. Let me switch things around here. There. There. Nameplate. And he's ready. Pawn. This is a rank 3 overall. Alright, we have no camera for this. Hello, Furor. How are you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, let's do a little volume check. There. We also
Testing,
have...
testing.
I'm going to turn you up a little bit, I think. Try now.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Is that better, chat, after upping the volume? Yes. Oh, still quiet. Alright, I'll turn you up a little bit more. Alright, try talking now.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
I am good. How are you doing? Rank 2 Shadow. Rank 3
Fortunate.
overall. How do you feel?
I mean, I was feeling great up to the point where I saw business coming in hot.
Yeah, no, that was, you were very close to getting rank 1 in the entire gauntlet. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what went right for you this gauntlet and what went wrong?
Let's start with what was clearly Maven. I really wish I was recording because I just walked up to her trying to get Fortify and she started casting Cascade of Pain and just instantly fell over
Oh, wow.
in the first 30 seconds of the fight.
Oh, no.
And one to my right, I guess the gearing, it went pretty smoothly. I got all my bases in 30 rolls of Gwen, which was pretty lucky, I think.
Yeah, no, that's great.
And that's about it.
Yeah, no, it's still an insane performance. I know, I think was it day 7, right? Where you were killing all the bosses? Maybe day 6, late day 6. But for those that weren't paying attention at the time, Steel Mage was sleeping and was currently rank 1, and Fino was just racing past everybody, killing boss after boss, and he only had to kill Maven and then delve to 300, and he would have locked in max points. So insanely close, insanely close, and just yeah, crazy performance. Was there? How did all the other bosses go? Do you feel like they were smooth?
Not really. I mean, Uber Elder, I should have died at least 3 times in that fight.
Yeah,
Same with Awakener. It was not clean at all. It was actually embarrassing.
it was some crazy fights. Still though, you pulled it off. It was insane.
Yeah, somehow. I mean, my luck had run out at some point.
Yeah. How did you feel about Delve? Because that's for the Ripion Sabo.
I mean, I truly hate that mechanic, so I wanted to avoid it as much as possible. And
Yeah.
that's where I had pretty much all of my close calls during leveling and mapping. So I
Yeah.
was really not looking forward to finishing it.
Yeah, it seems like that is a common trend. Both the Sabos hate Delve. But yeah, no, dude, absolutely insane performance. Was there anything that you wish was different about the Gauntlet?
Not really. I did prefer this one over the last one,
Nice.
just because it was more dangerous.
Oh, okay, cool.
I didn't feel like AoE was, too much of an issue. I
Yeah.
just wish I didn't DC
Right,
during the last one.
Yeah.
But actually, business once again, overtook me.
Well, maybe next time you will overtake business and.
No, I will definitely avoid whatever class is playing.
Okay, that works too. But again, thank you so much, dude, for joining the Gauntlet. Absolutely stellar performance and made it really, really exciting with that insane push. Let's get a big a clap for Fino here, and thank you so much, dude. Really, really do
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Let's see. Next up is Steel Mage. Let me throw on the name tag here. Steel Mage. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little tired for some reason. I don't know why.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty exhausted this gauntlet. Oh my.
Yeah, you went really hard, a lot of hours, and you won, I think, approximately $2,100. Rank 1, by the way. Global winner. You win not only that, but you also win a IRL trophy as well.
Yeah, no, I know I already talked about it with you, but it's really, really cool to have that trophy because originally I didn't really, the trophy wasn't a big deal to me. But then, you had Lighty with the trophy, you had Exile with the trophy, Alkaiser with the trophy, and so it's really cool that now I, can join, those three, because those three, some of the best, well, they best, right? The literal best gamers in PoE, right? So it's pretty cool.
And
I get
here
one
we
now.
can see what the trophy looks like as well. So there's been 4 of these made, and they do get engraved with the name and stuff like that. Provided by Shopify. Again, huge thanks. But yeah, congratulations. Tell us a little bit about your build. Tell us a little bit about like what went right for you this gauntlet, what went wrong. How do you get such RNG? Things like that.
Right, well, I'm playing a build that, a lot of people might know. It's Bleed Glad. I've played it a few times before. Played it in Gauntlet before, actually, so it was definitely a comfort pick. That pretty much is what it comes down to. I was considering Sab, because Sab was favored. Obviously, I know Lighty and a few others played Toxic Rain, but the problem with Toxic Rain is you have to weapon swap Vigilant Strike, which mechanically is beyond me. Well, maybe it's not mechanically beyond me, I just don't want to put myself through that. Either way, that wasn't an option for me. So Sab was the realistic pick, and Khan said something which made me go, Glad. Well, maybe I shouldn't throw Khan under the bus here, let's be honest, I was going to play Glad either way, Rise was right. But, he said you should play, the build I've been playing all league, the build I know how to play really well, I played it in Gauntlet before, play that build, right? It's a competitive event, I want to win, right? Don't try something new, necessarily. It's not necessarily the good, the best time for that, right? So yeah. I went with the comfort pick, and slow and steady, didn't die, and that's all that matters, right? Just don't die, right?
Yeah, you were the enraged timer.
Yeah, taking over Alkaiser's role, once again.
And gearing and stuff like that, did you have any like good luck, bad luck, anything that didn't drop when you needed it?
Well, so there's only 2 things that went wrong. Let's start with the things that went wrong.
Okay.
Because lots of things went right. So I didn't get my Glorious Vanity in 6 attempts, which isn't as bad as Lily, but it's still pretty bad. Right? That was a lot of time investment, a lot of energy. I was running, Tudjin, logbooks. I was farming Betrayal for Scarabs. I was doing New Vestir, focusing New Vestir, doing all of that, and it took a long time. And I know all the other Glads had their jewel already, and I was the only one that didn't have it, and I could not do content without the jewel. The Glorious Vanity over Leech is about 20% regen. And if you've ever played a Glad, they have block, which is great, but they don't have recovery, like Slayer. So you really need the jewel to not, feel terrible. So I had to get that, and it took forever, and it was a pain. It was, it was very pain champ. And then the other thing that was horrible, and a few other people have already mentioned it, but farming the Twisted is horrible. Horrible. Like, oh my lord. Because you need so you can't Horizon Orb or Bless Orb or whatever, Elder Guardians. And you can't witness Zana missions, so you actually have to get the map to drop it specifically. And I was lucky enough, well, lucky is maybe not the right word, I just YOLO'd the form, so I actually had the passive to drop extra Elder Guardian maps. So I was dropping lots of Shaper Guardians, not many Elder Guardians, and every Elder Guardian I dropped was a duplicate, and I couldn't Bless or Horizon Orb them. So it took me 28 hours of farming to drop 1 Enslaver map. Which was very painful. when I finally got it, instantly did all the bosses pretty much. I did the bosses, went to sleep, did more bosses. And during that period of time where I went to sleep, that's almost where I lost, right? To Fenno.
Yeah,
So
I was wondering about that. So I noticed you did Uberziri before Maven. Was that just because of him?
yeah, because I knew there was no point going for rank 2, right? I wanted rank 1. And getting Maven down would not have gotten me rank 1, so there's no point. I might as well have just gone straight into Uberziri, get the 6 points rather than the 4. Or the 5, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think it's 4. So I ended up doing Uberziri.
Yeah, Uberziri 6, Maven is 4. Yeah,
that's
no,
what
it
went
was
wrong.
insane because I know you were telling me that you didn't think you could do Uberziri on that build.
Yeah, the Uberziri tech was spicy, so I knew from previous gauntlets that I would not be able to dodge the flame blasts. You know, I'm just not that good at that fight to be able to do that. I know Lighty can probably do that, but I think most people need the slow. Like, you've got most people that I've seen do Uberziri in the gauntlet run skitterbots, or at least some form of chill, but usually skitterbots, right? Maybe even Lighty did. I'd have to rewatch the fight, but you know, you really want some slow because the time to react to the flame blast is very small, right? So I knew I needed some chill. Now I can't run skitterbots on a Mortal Conviction build because it doesn't count as a permanent aura that affects you or whatever. So I realized I needed some other form of chill, and that's when Chat. So I got carried by Chat here. Suggested Soul Taker. It allows your physical damage to chill. That was the only thing it did. It did nothing else because I'm blood magic, so I don't need the, you know, any stats on the item other than chill. But the chill was potent enough to actually allow me to dodge every mechanic in Uberziri. And Uberziri is not that tanky, so even though the fight took a while, it really wasn't that bad. So I was actually able to pull off the kill that I didn't think could be done. I did not think I could do it on that build, so.
And you did it. It was insane. Yeah. And tell us more about like what did go right, like how easy was Gary and everything like that, and everything. And
Right.
were you like planning on having a Soul Taker? Like how RNG was that?
Right, so the Soul Taker was just random. Like it wasn't part of the plan at all, but obviously Chat knew I had the Soul Taker, so that's why they suggested it. There was another item that can chill, Venopuncture, but that thing is like super rare. I did try to gamble for it, but yeah. In terms of what did go right though, as I'm sure some people know, I got a lot of luck this league. I had a day 1, like, white map 6-link Astral, which is incredibly lucky. That happens every once in a while. I mean, the reality is, your first fusing is just as likely, technically speaking, that one fusing is just as likely as the 1500th, right? You can get it on the first fusing or the 1500th. And so every once in a while, instead of getting it on the 1500th, you're going to get it on the first one. Now, it wasn't the first one, it was more like the 100th, but still, I got it like day 1 instantly, pretty much, just handed to me on a silver
That
platter,
just happens sometimes. That just happens.
which, yeah, absolutely incredible. And yeah, I mean, everything just worked. You know, I got my shield base, got my belt, got my... Oh, actually, I mean, there's some gear that I crafted that I just kind of pulled out of nowhere. Like my boots and my chest, I crafted with a Veiled Chaos Orb. And I don't mean I meta-modded it. Like, I don't mean I, like, prefix is gonna be changed, Veiled Chaos, like, super expensive, super, you know, deterministic. No, I just Veiled Chaos Orbed it, and it rolled T1 life, the unveil I wanted, with good suffix. So I just put that on. And the helmet as well, I just dropped it. Well, obviously, you know, just dropped from a Betrayal master and picked it up. You know, unveiled that, also insane. Part. Yeah, picked it up. So yeah, I mean, I got pretty lucky. Not streamer client, by the way, just lucky. I promise.
Yeah, there's a different client for you, I'm sure.
Well, not the client Rise uses.
Yes, there's definitely a different one than that. I think it's getting to the point where all the luck Rise doesn't have, you have. You guys complete each other. It's it's definitely something there. But yeah, insane. How did you feel about Delve being back in the Gauntlet?
I mean, 300 Delve doesn't have the same flair as a boss, right? So I don't... Even though Visas didn't hit 300 Delve, I don't think that takes away from his clear, but, you know...
Yeah.
He didn't technically fully complete the Gauntlet, but I still view it as a full clear, just because the bosses are all dead. That being said, Gauntlet was spicy. Like, it was scary. As Lily said, that last, like, you know, 50 to 20 or so levels of Delve is very spicy. Nodes start to appear with lots of damage mods. You start to have to think about, you know, like I had to make several close calls, like, do I do this Roa Nest node? And who was like, no, don't do it, don't do it. And I just did it.
They were fucked.
I just did it. I know, I just did it. The trick to that, by the way, if you're wondering, stand still. Roas don't do that much damage if you don't run away, because they don't charge. If they charge you, you'll just die instantly.
Yeah,
So
I
you
just
just
did
gotta
one at a
commit.
time. I did one nest at a time. I was like, yeah, horrible.
I popped it, stood still, and it was like, it was bearable. It was okay. It was close, but you know.
Just
yeah,
block
that
it
was-
with your 75% block. Yeah, no problem.
Well, actually, Ziz, for delving I had 75, but I yoked some Quintech. So
Okay.
Quinn on his first Maven respecs the bleed node, the bleed explosion node, to the more block node. So you actually have 79 block when you boss on that
Oh.
build. Because you don't need the explosions and you get damage from that node anyway. So
That is really nice. 79, wow. That's a pretty big chunk extra.
yeah,
Wow.
I mean it's kind of like max res. You know, if you look at it like max res, going from 75 to 79 is it's a lot, right? It's
So
Definitely not
technically
nothing.
Quinn won the gauntlet.
well, it pays to be a Quinn viewer, you know. Sometimes.
That's awesome. Is there anything you would have like changed about this gauntlet? Anything you didn't like?
Not really. I guess for future gauntlets, a few other people have mentioned this, but there doesn't necessarily need to be a cap on difficulty. So like the was it the hidden? That is very farmable. That could have been a nice chase call, because that would kill a lot of people.
True.
And maybe that's fine, right? I mean, I've always viewed. I feel like my personal take is I feel like the gauntlet should be completable, but maybe it's kind of okay if you just slap in, you know, encounters that are essentially nearly impossible.
Right.
Like the hidden would be just absurd, like absolutely absurd. But maybe that's fine.
Yeah, I guess we're just a little bit worried about RNG. Like, there's already quite a lot of RNG. We're like very worried about both the hidden and the feared. Obviously, like Twisted ends up being too much RNG as well.
Yeah, I think Twisted isn't quite as atrocious though, to be fair, because you do have Harvest, Breach Swap, and you do have nodes on the Atlas to actually farm Breachstones a lot.
Yeah.
And it that flared as well for Scarabs and everything like that.
True. True.
Definitely not as bad as Twisted. Twisted is just shocking.
Yeah, that was painful. Pain champ. Very pain champ. And if anyone was watching and you do have feedback for the gauntlet, we do have a feedback channel in the racing Discord too. So feel free to give us feedback there. But yeah, again, dude, stellar performance. Huge congrats on the trophy, the win, the money. Everything is well deserved. Let's get a big clap in chat for Steel Mage. Thanks so much for putting on an insane show, dude.
Dude, I mean, oh god. Honestly, I'm so glad I played the Gauntlet. I was on the fence because I was worried about the difficulty of it, but man, I'm so glad I played. It was absolutely incredible, Ziz. You know, again, I know you've heard this like literally 5 times already, but thanks for, you know, putting on the Gauntlet, you and the team. It's always you know, it's always amazing, especially when you win.
I bet,
You know?
I bet. It must be nice. Ah, cries in dead character. But yeah,
feels
dude,
bad.
huge congrats. And thank you so much for taking time and joining us here for the interview.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Amazing. We are going to move on with no more interviews. There are more people we would have liked to have done, but they're asleep. Steelmage is awake, thankfully, but others are asleep. So we are now going to move on to prizing and drawing the raffle.